There.
Just curious, how many entrepreneurs are in the audience that are or might be looking for venture financing? Great. Well, if you didn't raise your hand, then you don't have to listen to the rest of this. But if you did raise your hand, we've got a great event for you in connection with Internet Week. Wilson Sonsini and our friends at DFJ Gotham are putting on a terrific event tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at Columbia University, Learner Hall, VC Boot Camp, everything that you need to know about raising VC financing, how to position your company, what a term sheet looks like, both the business and the legal aspects of it. If you're interested, go to internetweekny.com, go to the scheduled events. Tomorrow night, June 3rd, 6 p.m. It has all the information, where it is. You could register there. Hope to see you there.
Great. So, one of the fathers of the internet world in New York, Andrew.
Hey everybody. So, what you saw with Andrew Hoffman earlier, there's another 1,000 people like Andrew and his colleagues all around the country who are trying to do the same thing, which is to bring the technology of our world to the world of politics and democratic participation, regardless of what party affiliation or political persuasion you may have. But because the New York Tech Meetup and the Personal Proxy Forum have been working together for a long time here in New York, tonight I'm here to announce something very special, which is we're giving everybody in the New York Tech Meetup community $100 off if you register by June 8th. And it's already a very low price for a conference, a tech conference. It's $455 at an early bird rate, $100 off, it's $355. And some of the speakers that are going to be there this year include GM Bianchini from Ning, Clay Shirky, Jeff Jarvis, Craig Newmark, Vivek Kundra, the CIO of the White House, Dana Boyd, and others who you would normally see at much more expensive tech conferences. But just tonight, for the next 24 hours, we're offering you one other big discount, which is $225 off if you Twitter and promote the conference, post something on your Facebook page linking to our page, or blog about it and tell us about it. We'll give you $225 off, but only if you do it in the next 24 hours. So it's a great deal, and more importantly, this is our city, it's our country. Those of you who are creating great applications, if you come to our conference, you're going to find deals, relationships, and opportunities to promote everything you do. So thank you very much. There was a flyer given out earlier this evening, if you have it, that gives the details of how to get the discount.
Yeah, and even better, it's the URL that I put up on the screen for you.
Thank you.
You can see all the details there for how to get the deep discount about the class. So thank you, Andrew. And also, it should have mentioned that Andrew is also on our board. So thank you.
Released a vector editor that allows people to create vectors directly in the browser, so you can create t-shirts and logo designs without needing standard desktop software. And what's really neat is that you can see that people's imagination runs with the gamut of what's being created, and every day there's new content that people are sort of now being able to create content which they wouldn't be able to create beforehand. So you see this student poses over here and then goes ahead and remixes stuff and directly that allows people to create their own neat effects. So you can see this process. So instead of going ahead and opening up and seeing this complex process, we released this application that allows people to create black boxes. So, for example, in this use case right here, I went ahead and took my image, passed through the creation of that effect, and now created my own image in that matrix like effect. So if you're thinking about the complexities of creating your own Photoshop filters or different, we're about to release our online audio editor that will allow people to create remixes of tracks directly in the browser.
Talk a little bit about, this is the thing that I think fascinates me most, the education, what you guys are doing with schools and how it changes education.
Right, so we now enable, so instead of schools having to pay, for desktop software for each student, we enable schools to have private groups and have educators use our software directly in the classroom. So kids can learn and collaborate in school, but then they can go home and they can edit and create cool stuff directly in the browser. So sorry? Bravo! Thanks. And And what's really neat is that before, teachers never had the thought process of being able to use this in part of their curriculum, because why should you sell sort of pay $200 per license, but if they only want to use it for one time.
So how does this work? So what happens is you need a 3D file. And you get a 3D file, you can either make it in a program like SketchUp, or you can download one off the internet. There weren't any good places to download 3D files, so we started Thingiverse, which is a universe of things. It's kind of like YouTube, except instead of videos, there are digital designs you can download. We particularly like 3D files because you can use them on the MakerBot, you can make actual objects that you download, but we're also obsessed with lasers. And so if you have a laser cutter, there's also lots of designs for laser cutting. There's also lots of designs that you can download and cut out, all sorts of digital designs. One of my favorites is, of course, the Empire State Building. I've got a little model of the Empire State Building here. You can come up and look at this later. I'll give this away to Just give this away to the guys who are up there first. Right? This is their logo. And we started a clone army. We got little stormtrooper heads, and Legos, and all sorts of things. Basically, if you can imagine it as a 3D object, you can make it exist as a 3D digital design file, and then you can print it out. So Thingiverse is one of those places where you can find files. We actually are kind of obsessed with Creative Commons and open source, being a completely open source company, and so we decided to make it really easy for you to share things and have them be Creative Commons or GPL licensed. So we're affordable. That means normally a machine like this costs between $25,000 for kind of a low-end 3D printer to somewhere upwards of $250,000, $500,000. We decided to kind of undercut that, and we sell our kit for $750. Yeah. I had something on the thing there, and it fell in. So I should have taken that out first. Okay. I'll leave that right there. Trying to avoid breaking my machine in the demo. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to show you today.
What's the cost of operation? What's the cost to make a wall?
Right, so you'd think that the Empire State Building would cost a lot of money, and in fact, there's a few places that you can get fulfillment of 3D objects online. And my guess is this would probably cost you like $30 or $40 to have somebody else print it. But it turns out that once you have your own robot and you don't have to, and your own machine, and you don't have to pay somebody to do it for you, something like this costs like pennies to make. We've been running it straight for about 2 months, and we haven't worn out any parts. We're expecting a belt to eventually run out or wear out, but the other thing that we've started doing is we've started making parts for it. So with a number of parts, if for some reason they do wear out, you can just print new parts.
I'm going to show you Mahalo 2.0, which is the human-powered search engine I started about 2 years ago, and it's grown pretty nicely to 5 million unique visitors a month. And we basically put 3 things on a page: content, like the Wikipedia, search results, like Google, and then a knowledge exchange, like Yahoo Answers. But actually that idea for Yahoo Answers came from Korea, a site called down.net and a site in Japan called Hakina. But today, I'm going to show you Mahalo 2.0. Here we do a search for Blade Runner. We're doing something called comprehensive search, which originated again in Korea, where you get sections of search: news, web links, images, videos, Twitter, blogs, all these different categories. And that's very interesting. You've probably seen that before. But then we prompt the users to say, what is this? Now, not every user has to do this, but the users who choose to can then go build a page. You can call it a human-powered search page. You can also call it a topic page. And then they can enter the editor, which we'll do in just a second here. But obviously this has all those comprehensive searches. And then the user can take what Google and YouTube and all these other search engines have done and put a human spin on it. So the person who's passionate about Blade Runner, they're going to know what the best sites are, what the 7 best links on the internet are for that. And so what Tyler's doing here is he's working through the editor to find the best things and put them up in the top and pin them up there so that when users come to the page, they get the best experience. So maybe they'll take a little end of Blade Runner where he talks about Tears in the Rain and whatnot and put that into the top. And so what this means is we're taking the Google search results